I call this meeting of the Parks and Rec Commission to order. Roll call.
Commissioner Fedrich is absent. Commissioner Ishibashi also absent. Commissioner Lee.
Here.
Commissioner Mitchell.
Here.
Commissioner Teeter.
Here.
Vice Chair Bites is hopefully on his way, not present yet, and Chair Doherty.
Here.
Thank you.
And now it's time for approval of the minutes.
I can move that we approve the minutes of
March 6th.
thanks, March 6th, because I was here. I'll second that motion.
Let's see, all in favor?
Right.
Any abstains?
I can't say, I can approve that. Yeah.
And any no's? All right, thank you.
Okay, so our next oral requests, are there any oral requests? Unfinished business? Subcommittee?
I'm sorry, I missed it. Did you introduce the item already?
Oh. And do this. Subcommittee for Parks and Recreation Master Plan.
Yes, so as you will recall from the last meeting, we are about to embark in a year-long effort on a citywide park and recreation master plan. And the question that was before the commission last month is, should there be a subcommittee created for this purpose? And there was not an outpouring of volunteerism, shall we say, at the last meeting, but not everybody was present. So we thought we would leave it on the agenda for one more meeting and see if there were at least two people that would be interested in being on a subcommittee. And then I also explained that if in fact there is no subcommittee, we will just look for opportunities to inform you and, you know, maybe get you to attend the odd council meeting or community event here or there, kind of on an ad hoc basis. So it's not absolutely critical that you have a subcommittee. If you had, it's just a desire. Well, it's only desirable to us if there's a desire of any of the commissioners. Other than that, we will still find a way to get the committee. You will be involved in the process one way or the other. We will bring the consultant to you at least a couple times. You'll have time to give input. You'll have time to review other input that's gathered through other means. And we will, if we have community events where we will be gathering input, we'll certainly make you aware and invite you to those as well. So the opportunities will still be there, but it will be more of a randomized approach, I guess you would call it, which is fine.
You can say, what is your preference?
When
Is the subway do you plan on or something?
Well, we don't know. We haven't had our kickoff meeting. The kickoff with the consultant is a week from Friday. And at that point, we will kind of get moving in. I mean, on the front end, they've got some information to gather. They've got to review the existing documentation that we have regarding our parks and our community center. And so it's not like it needs to happen this month or next, but if there were a subcommittee, what we would do is, I don't know, those of you that remember the Campbell Park subcommittee,
That's fine.
we would meet kind of off cycle.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, more during the day and kind of keep you apprised of the progress of that project. And I would imagine that if we have a subcommittee, it would work much the same way. But as I say, if it doesn't work out that way, that's okay.
It would be good if there's three of us, because I'm not always around. I mean, I'm around. I love to participate, but my schedule's a little crazy. But I think it's important. Yeah, I would like to participate. My best.
And my schedule is more flexible, but I do know there's a week in July that I won't be here.
That's me.
So I
So,
can still participate.
Do I have three?
Frank,
Yeah, he
Okay.
expressed interest.
That's right.
in the meeting minutes.
That's right.
Sure.
That's why you approved it, because you read them.
Right. Well, because I wasn't there, so I knew that. I knew.
So I guess you'd have your three.
Do we need a motion on that? Can somebody make a motion with the, and nominate the three? Should be.
Okay. Um. I'll move to create a subcommittee and, who were the three? Frank, Sherry and Tracy will be on the subcommittee.
All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstains? Thank you.
That was easy. See, I didn't even have to strong arm you, and it worked out. So we'll now move on to park improvements at Jack Fisher Park, and I think that's gonna be Bob, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, good evening, everybody. You see the flyer in front of you? Okay, this is our awareness for you. We're planning on recapturing some of the turf at Jack Fisher Park. Hopefully you can recognize where that area is. It's right near the tot lot where the youngest folks are. The design intent was to have a grass lawn there, but with the sand and the amount of usage that that lawn gets, we've never been able to really get it to where anybody wants to put a blanket on it. So, yeah, so we're gonna pivot and our intention is to remove the irrigation, which will help us save water, and then replace the turf with a hard surface. It's called DG or decomposed granite. You used it at the community center. And it's kind of a bluish color, so it doesn't reflect a lot of light. And then put either tables or benches there so that moms can put their bags down and have their juice boxes and what have you out. Make it a little more comfortable for those type of activities. And it's really a win-win. The biggest question is when we're gonna have staff time to do it. But we're excited about the whole process. I can walk you through it briefly, but it's basically cutting the sod out and cutting off the irrigation and installing some filler below to stabilize the ground so we don't have trip hazards. And then adding the blue fine, compacting it, putting in either tables or benches or one of each. The nice thing about a bench is mom can rest her back. The nice thing about a table is, like say, put all the lunch pails and what have you on it. So just want to keep that in mind for you folks. And is there any questions about that? It's yet to be determined, and maybe there'll be a little bit of feedback from the committee, but yeah, that's the intention. I think that would be the best, one table, one chair, because the backrest is kind of nice. That's the amount of turf. Yeah, you can hardly tell it's grass there because it's all full of sand. Yeah. Jack Fisher Park. Yeah. Yeah. That's right. That's right. Yeah. Okay, well, no questions, we'll move on.
Okay.
Is it working now? Okay, so this is really good news to be here to share with you what we've done so far on the Pruneyard Creek Trail expansion project. Maybe a little background, and the information is included in your packet, but just kind of going back to 2016 when City Council, as part of the Pruneyard Development Project, decided to condition Pruneyard to create this trail that connects the Los Gatos Creek Trail to East Campbell Avenue. And so the proposed trail, as you can see, the one that's highlighted in yellow, is sandwiched between Highway 17 to the west, Pruneyard to the east, and the Los Gatos Spur Trail to the north, and to the southeast Campbell Avenue. So currently the way how you access Campbell Avenue from the Los Gatos Creek Trail is that you have to go through two active parking lots effectively, right? Because there's the Pruneyard parking lot, and also there's the Campbell Inn parking lot. And there's another way from south of, on the other side of East Campbell Avenue, kind of coming from the south, from the park, from Campbell Park. But none of these are really direct connections. And so this project, what we're proposing to do is a direct connection from the spur of Los Gatos Creek Trail on the north end and connect it to East Campbell Avenue. So we're trying to create this to be a safe, continuous pathway. And if you look at the figure on the magnified figure to the left corner, it's kind of hard to see, but the width of this trail is being proposed to be 15 feet, two-way direction, and with fences on both sides. One, on the abutment side, and then the other one on the Pruneyard parking lot side. And the fencing is required as a Caltrans requirement. And I say Caltrans because this particular area is owned by Caltrans. And that kind of leads me to let you know that how this came about and became a city project where we are doing the design and construction. So as I mentioned, this was really a condition of Pruneyard, right? And after many attempts and years of them trying to go to Caltrans, they came to the city and asked us if there's a way that the city would work with Caltrans, and maybe it would be more approachable for us as a local agency to a local agency. And even and then they would contribute $250,000 for us to embark on that effort. And so we took that on. And even with that, it took several attempts and years. And then so finally, in June of 2023, we were able to get Caltrans's management to support this project. And when that happened, things started rolling. And that's when they formed a team to work with us very closely and very positively too, in moving this along. And at the same time, we as the city, we hired a consultant to help us who has experience in working with Caltrans, right? Because there's a lot of paperwork, there's a lot of things that we need to fill out. And so that really worked out really well for us, that 3 months ago, we were able to obtain an encroachment permit from Caltrans. So that really is good news in moving this along. I guess the downside to this is that after the project has been completed, and then the estimate that we're seeing for construction, so I mentioned Pruneyard contributed $250,000, while the ending estimate is double that. So we're looking at $500,000 for construction. Some of the funding sources what we're looking at is potentially some grant funding like TDA, TFCA, perhaps, maybe in the ballpark of 100,000. So we still would be short. And so to supplement that, we would be trying to seek park dedication funds for that. So this evening, I wanted to bring this project forward to the commission and to get your input, to get your support. And the next steps would be that if I get your support on this, then we will move forward to bringing this project to city council for their approval. And then also a budget adjustment to make the project whole so that we can move forward. All the plans and specifications, the package is ready. It's just a matter of us getting all the funding ready and then putting it out on the streets. And I think I've covered much. Oh, okay, one more thing. A few weeks ago in March 21st, the project was brought to the Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Committee as well to present to them, and there were no objections to the project. So, and with that, any questions? It's actually, can I just? And it's this string here, it's actually there in the top string cuts. So there's a line of it. Just shrubs, yeah, that. So you notice this. Yes, but it's like right here, so it big connections in. And then here's this one. Right. And then right now, copies of that, come off of here, go to right. So you know, like, yes. We'll try and make these connections. It was lower. Yeah, I think so. I know it makes sense with the issue is that looking up there, there's no good connection with the trail to the point when you're going north to south. And so there's a kind of actually that get out the way. Right, yeah. So we're trying to create a safer and a more direct route. Yes. If we would.
But if you all are in favor of it, let's make it official.
All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstains? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That move us on to review of the.
I mean, we're getting really close to the end of 2024, so it's, if we did take that to count, I mean, we're gonna have to time that, and see what the best time to do that is. If we take it to council before June 30th, it will certainly get an allocation under fiscal year 24. And if not, it'll be in fiscal year 25. So I'm really not sure what I mean, as you heard Amy talk about, that the project is really ready to go. So we could take it any time. I suppose you could say that, but we are kind of in the middle of the budget process. So we need to time that against that work and then some of the other projects that we have going on, so that we don't have too many construction projects going ahead at the same time. But it's certainly something that we will take to council in the next few months, whether it's June or August, that remains to be seen. But as you can see from the ending fund balance, we are looking pretty healthy in this over the course of the next 5 years.
And we don't want all of Campbell. But all at once.
No, we don't.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Just a quick question. You mentioned like the housing element, and I'm wondering if we know where to expect some of these the increased population, with increased people, and whether we could like direct park funding to these areas. That might be for the future, maybe for the master plan, but
Yeah, I mean, that's certainly something that we actually had those maps up at the council meeting last night, and I don't even want to say, but I think it would be best if you get a chance, you might want to pull up the council agenda from last night and look at the report that went, because there are a couple of very key maps in there that will show you where the housing is likely to be concentrated, and it probably won't surprise you to hear that it's kind of along the Baskin and Winchester corridors, kind of in between there. You know, the access to freeway is good, access to transit is good. And if you're coming in as a builder, it's certainly more there's a little bit more incentives for you to build closer to transit, because the parking requirements are not quite the same, and I think you can actually get away with building more units. Now, the other thing that you should be aware of is that as we move forward with this, is that projects with affordable units will be discounted on their park impact fees. So it could be anywhere from 0, if they don't build affordable units, to up to 50%. If a project comes in with 100% affordable units, it would be discounted 50% on its park fees. And there's various steps in between. So if you see something like that, you know, I mean, that's a pretty reasonable compromise that will be implemented in future fees going forward, but doesn't address the fact that we still have some park deficiencies, and we're hoping that this Park and Rec master plan will help us come up with strategies.
Where some of those developments are, and knowing, or potentially could be, when we're doing the Park and Recreation Master Plan, one of the things we want to draw out of them are what's deficient in that area, what amenities would work best in those areas. And they can actually build in, because there are incentives that when builders create these new areas, that they provide the park space, right? And then they get some sort of discounted rate. But if the park space, then if they provide park space and they leave it open to the public, they get an even bigger kind of like discounted rate as well. And so if they go that route, we can, if through this master plan, we identify what it is, we can be very specific in what we want them to install in set places that are open to the public in these developments. So there's an opportunity for us to kind of direct what could happen if they take that route by doing kind of that needs assessment and working with the community.
interesting. Thank you.
That's good. Okay, we are good. We're looking for input. Don't need a motion on that. So thank you very much.
Next, we have a proposed meeting in Pave Park for May or June.
Yeah, that was also something that I put on there because I keep wanting to get you all out to Virginia Park since we did the nice renovation out there last year. So, and we haven't had a meeting in the park since the end of last summer. So we could do it in May, we could do it in June, we could do it whatever meeting you'd like to do, but the issue with that is that we need to agendize it in advance. We can't just kind of make it up as we go, so. The next meeting would be May 1st.
As long as the storms are done. I'm growing that is. Out there, pretty nice. Yeah. Okay.
We would need a motion for that because that is a change from your ordinary schedule.
That might not be on today. First.
Yeah, I mean, you saw
Like
it,
a little earlier as well.
Yes.
Just say yes.
Yes.
Yes. 6.
6 o'clock. May 1st. Sounds good. I said.
Okay.
All in favor?
Alright.
Any opposed? Any abstains? Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, then we're on to committee reports, Parks and Green Trail, Sharon.
I actually got some two parks this. Rain or shine. Finish the. Bridge. Walk bridge. I just love that. Most of those say. It's winter time.
It's winter time, yeah.
But,
They'll probably start changing next month.
but it was very nice. So anybody else with any other parks? I've been to Jack Fish.
I've been to Virginia and John D. Morgan. and
Okay.
They're both looking good.
Yeah.
Been to Jack Fisher as well.
Well used.
Report. Okay, next we have our trees. And Chair Ishibashi is not here, so members Mitchell, since you're the only one here. Okay, and special events. Chair Fidrich. Is not here. Nothing to report. We, the, Bunnies and Bonnets, parade got canceled. But probably for a good reason, because there was definitely thunder that day, so, yeah, nothing else to report. Okay, so now we're on to staff reports. Todd.
I think we're gonna hear from Bob again.
I know, I was too. I even wrote it on my calendar.
So, well, good evening, everybody, again. We've been preparing for spring. It's kind of happening, kind of not. It's in spurts, but just a few things that we're trying to finish up. The Ainsley House garden. Carrie Perkins reached out to us, asked for a couple of enhancements, so we put some new trees in there, put some flower color to make the whole area more attractive. And it's working out very nice. So that's happened. We are hosting a Keep America Beautiful event, volunteer event on April 13th, which is next Saturday, not this Saturday, next Saturday at the Campbell Community Center near the main sports field. It involves planting plants. We have about 80 plants and trees and 100 yards of mulch. And that would be from 9 to noon. And there will be snacks and other assorted items there for you. You're all invited to come. You can sign up online too. Even if you just show for moral support, appreciate anything we can get. Some of you may have noticed at Campbell Park, between the bathroom and the swing set, there was some orange snow fence. In fact, there still is orange snow fence. And that's a light grade construction material. And the intention of that is to allow the plants to grow. People were using it as a impromptu walkway. So we've finally hired a contractor who's scheduled to work to put in a black chain link fence that'll match the rest of the area and hopefully allow all those plants to grow and also keep people safe from cutting through there, moms with strollers, little kids running out. So we're looking forward to that. And just because the parks never stop, just like recreation's always going on. Sunday morning last week, we got a call 8 o'clock that a backflow was vandalized, damaged over on the corner of First and Orchard City Drive. The police department noted it, called us out and shut the water off. We have no idea how many hours it has been running, but it was an inch-long line, or inch diameter line, a lot of water. So that's just one of the odds and ends that we come across that we're trying to clear up before spring really hits. We have a little tiny leak at John Morgan Park. And when we went to go investigate it, we ended up with a hole 4 feet deep, at least as big as this, on a 6-inch main line. So just that little tiny bit of water on the surface, that's what we ended up uncovering, and we're still working on the repair right now. And that's kind of just like an overview of a lot of the different things we have going on. I don't know if anybody has any questions.
Still have Arbor Day.
Correct. Yes. And you're all invited. John Morgan Park, 10 o'clock. It's going to be on the Rincon side. Campbell School, School of Innovation will be our guests, and we're going to be planting between 11 and 14 trees. That's our goal. Correct. Yep. Okay. Thanks.
The same group that we breaking a lot of ground cover.
So this is going to be a different group. It's the Campbell Middle School. It's the 2nd grade and I think the 5th grade. And it'll be a short little ceremony. It's not going to be too long. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Bob.
Recreation Community Services.
Great. So I just wanted to share with the commission that both the projects that the Public Recreation Commission approved to be sent to council, the Koa Strong Kindness Rock Garden and the Story Walk, they were both approved by City Council on March 19th. So we'll be moving forward with those installations at some point in the upcoming months. So our adult center, they're hosting another 50+ social dance on Sunday, April 21st from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. There's live music, dancing, and light snacks. Simon Santiago's Brew Show will be playing live. The tickets are $10 if you buy in advance and $20 at the door. They also have a trip coming up on April 23rd to the San Francisco Zoo for 50+, and spaces are still available. And then the Adult Center is also hosting an AARP Smart Driver course on April 8th and 9th, and pre-registration is required for that as well. The Historical Museum and Ainsley House will be having their next garden concert on Sunday, April 14th with Heart Matter, featuring vocalist Amy D and percussionist Dylan Gatto. The garden opens at 1:30 and the music begins at 2. Tickets are $55 a person, and you can purchase at campbellmuseums.com. The Heritage Theater Jimmy Vaughn show, it was set for the 6th at their and that show has been postponed to October 4th due to some unforeseen circumstances. So that show that we had planned will be held in October now. May 10th, the Heritage Theater will be hosting Mavis Staples in honor of the 20th anniversary of the building being reopened. Tickets are on sale now. And Thursday, May 23rd, Colin Mockery and Brad Sherwood from Whose Line Is It Anyway will be performing an improv show. We have tickets on sale for that as well. Should be a good entertaining show. Our summer activity guide is off to the printer. It should be mailed out in the next couple of weeks to all of our Campbell residents. And then our summer camp and swim lesson registration has been open for about a month now and is going well. We already have some weeks that are full. And then registration for the rest of our summer classes will begin on April 30th for our residents, and then May 1st will open for everybody. And that's it.
Okay, any questions? Thank you, Natasha. Okay, good of the game. Sharon, nothing?
Sorry.
It's nice to see you. Okay, I call this meeting adjourned at 7:42. There.